Welcome back to my channel. I am here with a brand new video. Today I will explain a movie from 2010 titled Primal. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. At the beginning of the movie we see a man who was drawing pictures on a rock near a cave in a jungle. He was so attentive and his drawing that he didn't want to be scumming behind like a human, but when he watched the beast attacked and devoured him. Then we see a group of friends named Dace, Chris, Warren, Onion, Mel and Chad, who studied anthropology and used to research various archaeology and evolution of mankind. They went to the jungle in a car and reached the place where the man was drawing pictures on a rock near the cave. Basically they went to the jungle to collect those pictures for their research, but they didn't know that they went to Death Valley. They didn't even know that they had to deal with various problems every moment. However, since they wanted to collect those pictures, they would have to face all the evil situations to reach the rock where their desired pictures were. They would have to move forward through a cave. That's why they started to move forward, but they didn't know that one of their friends named Anya had dark phobia. She was very afraid of the dark because if she went to a dark and close place his breath would stop and start suffocating. But ignoring all of her problems, she went into the cave with her friends, but unfortunately she became unconscious and got knocked against the rock wall of the cave. Her forehead was inflicted and a few drops of blood fell on the ground from her forehead. Then we noticed that as the blood of her forehead fell to the ground, there was a little change happening in the environment. After a while they noticed that the soil absorbed the blood like a thirsty vampire, but they didn't notice that also some change had happened in their nearby river. His situation wasn't so good and she was still unconscious. When she regained her consciousness, she discovered that she had been brought outside the cave by her friends. They tied a bandage on his forehead and hand. Then they decided that they would go near their desired place through the cave. In on your loan would go there with the car following a different route. They reached their desired place according to their an insect camp there, or because they would spend some days there and study as well as research with the pictures and archaeology. After that, on your other boyfriend were roaming and went near a river. Seeing the river they became very happy. They noticed a plastic bottle which was almost devoured by some insects. They were surprised to see this. They were enjoying the beauty of the river. After a few hours, Days, Chris, Warren, Andrea, Mel and Chad went near their desired rock and saw some paintings on me and her boyfriend left the place while Chris was photographing the paintings, but she didn't notice that an animal was watching her from behind and getting a chance. It attacked Chris and wounded her. However, they came back to their camp and were gossiping and enjoying the time. One of their friends named Mel, without enjoying it with them, went near the river and decided to have a bath, so she took down the river and dived. But when she came up from the river she noticed some insects like leeches clung to her body. Her friends helped her to be freed from the insects like leeches. Because of these he became very ill, so her friend sent her to camp to rest. At night she got an extraordinarily high fever. Her teeth started falling out and she bled uncontrollably. Seeing her instant mutation, everyone became afraid. They decided to take Mel to a nearby hospital, but when they went near their car they saw the insects like leeches had already devoured a wheel of the car like the plastic bottle. Seeing no way, they returned to their camp with Mel the following day, armed with knives like these. Superhuman strength, savage and animalistic behavior and hunger for flesh. Mel was eating a beast outside the camp. No one noticed her except Chris. Seeing Mel in this condition, Chris went to our site and called her. Then she saw that Mel's face was covered with blood and her teeth were sharp as vampires. Dan, Mel attacked Chris and later the rest of them because Mel had completely turned into a beast. Then Chris got an idea. He knew the beasts were afraid of fire, so she made a fire and brought it in front of Mel and scared her. Being panicked, Mel ran away. But before leave in the place, military one of their friends and bit him. After that, Chris was checking all the pictures she had captured. He realized that those pictures were not only a sign of history, but also those pictures were a warning of them. The clues to the horrors of this jungle were hidden in those pictures, but they were already delayed, so they started looking for ways to get rid of them. On the other hand, Mel was attacking various kinds of animals and throwing them in a cave, and the cave was devouring all those animals in an instant, as if the case had been hungry for thousands of years. In another scene we see the old friends were creating a trap to confine and subdue Mel. According to their plan, Mel's boyfriend would stand in the trap and draw Mel's attraction towards him, and the rest of his friends would go outside with flares and search for her to draw Mel's attention. As soon as Mel would attack her boyfriend, he would leave his position. Then Day, sitting on the tree, would release their rope from the top and Mel would be trapped, but there were still some problems. None of them didn't know where Mel was. That's why they went out with flares and started searching for a Mel, but suddenly Mel appeared before Anu scared her and stopped him from attacking her with a flare, but flare was gradually putting out. But one of her friends went there to save her and he was able to bring Belle up to that trap. Seeing her boyfriend standing without flare, she attacked him and got trapped. They became very happy trapping her, but the happiness was very temporary because tearing the trap, Mel came out and attacked Warren, killed him and ate him. Then Mel chased Days in an attempt to run away from Mel. Days left in the same river where had based, but Anya, Chris and Chad frantically got him out of the water. They thought that the insects like leeches had attacked Days, which had turned Mel into beast, but they didn't find any leeches on Days and they assumed Days was safe. Then they noticed that Mel was afraid of that water and ran away. That night they noticed suddenly got the same sickness that Mel experienced before becoming beast. Seeing his situation, the other friends became very worried and decided to kill Days before turning into the breast. Then the friends started to debate who would kill their friend before turning into a beast, because Davis was about to turn into the beast very soon. They were not able to cope with Mel, whereas this was stronger than Mel. They realized that Days would become stronger than Mel, so they've no way without killing Days, but no one wanted to be a murderer, so they played a game. They decided that she would kill Days, who would lose the game. Unfortunately, Anu lost the game and she would have to kill Days according to their gaming rules, taking a sword. Anu trying to kill Days, but she couldn't kill him, so she picked up a large rock and threw it over the Days. As a result, Days became unconscious. Then they decided to go to their car to find weapons for fighting with Days in Mel, so they were moving slowly to their car through the darkness, but suddenly Mel appeared before Ann and Chad. At first Mel attacked Chad and wounded him, then Mel chased Tanya in an attempt to run away from Mel. Anu entered the cave, but it was a matter of surprise that Mel did not want to enter the cave. She seemed to be afraid of something, so she was waiting for Anya standing outside the cave. On the other hand, we see Chris reach to the car for weapons and was searching for weapons inside the car, locking it, but disappeared. There's suddenly an attack Chris. At that moment, Days completely turned into a beast. Seeing Days, Chris was very afraid and tried to flee, but Days attacked her. Then suddenly Mel appeared before them and stopped Days from killing Chris, but Mel didn't want to save Chris from Days, rather she wanted to throw Chris inside the cave. Chris skied from the while milling Days were fighting. After a while again, Chad noticed that 0 Days were eating one of their friends. Seeing this, child became very angry and attacked Days, and on your attacks Billy engaged in fighting. Chatted Days were both seriously injured and both died together. On the other hand, on there with the sort of flare deceived Mel cleverly and entered the cave because she knew that Mel did into the cave, but she didn't know that a greater danger was waiting for her inside the cave than Mel. There was another kind of monster that Anu knew nothing about. It was scared here of her suffocation and she was slowly coming out. Then he saw Chris there. She was frightened at first when she saw Chris and then took her outside, but suddenly the monster attacked Anya. Chris on the other hand gave birth to the baby of that monstrous creature. As soon as the baby was born, Chris killed it. Seeing this, the monster became very angry and killed Chris. In the meantime, we see that the monster was trying to be intimate with Onion. That means the monster was about to give birth to its baby through Anya. Anu realized that, so she took the opportunity to escape from the monster and came out of the cave. That monster followed on here, but it didn't come outside the cave. Getting out, Anu became very happy, but her happiness disappeared instantly. Suddenly Mel attacked Johnny and tried to kill her. In their deal, Anu paralyzed Mel by kicking her into a tree and snapping her spine. Anu killed Mel by picking a big rock and dropping it on Mel's head and crushing her skull, and eventually Anu was the only man who survived all kinds of danger. Anu knew about all the dangers, but didn't know how to get out of the jungle. And here the movie ends. Thanks for watching. If you like the movie, give it a like, share it with your friend, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Till then, take care.